of trouble with the YouTube streams at the minute. So I don't know how long I'll be able to do this for, to be honest. I got cut off the last one, many apologies. Yeah, so welcome to my live stream, and top headline is Liverpool 3, Atletico Madrid 2. There you go. I'll just say that's water. I was just saying on the aborted live stream that I cannot possibly go through this every single week. But the Reds keep finding a way of digging themselves out of these holes. I mean, they left it even. I think this is not quite as late as Burnley. I think it was about a minute beforehand. But yet again, we've got away. Well, I say got away with. Deserved to win the match, but we've got away with yet another one. But do you know what? First things first, fair play to the lads. They keep fighting. They keep going till the very end. It is starting to remind me of a certain team in the 90s down the East Lancs Road. Not that I want any association with those charming people whatsoever, but it honestly, it's so good for Liverpool to be able to do this and just be the urine boiling Reds to the rest of the population. It's just brilliant. I love it. But seriously, I have a history of heart attacks in the family, and we're going to induct another person into the Heart Attack Hall of Fame if this carries on much longer. Yeah, no, it's just another insane game. So, I mean, so far this season, we've had Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2, with Chiesa getting a goal in, what was it, the 88th minute. Then we had the Newcastle Rio Ingamoa in the 98th minute, whenever it was. Then we had Sobbo getting a goal in the 83rd, 84th minute, so like quite early by our standards at the minute. Then we had, who else have we had? The Burnley near debacle at the weekend when Mo got that penalty after Hannibal decided to do his best impression of Patrick Ewing. There's a young people reference for you. And then we've just had whatever the hell that is I've just watched now. It's completely bonkers. It's absolutely and utterly completely bonkers. Long term, we cannot keep doing this. We really can't. By the way, this will be on YouTube podcasts, and it'll be on as a video because I can't imagine there's going to be many people watching this because the Champions League that I'm watching now is about to start on BBC One, so I'm probably going to be quite distracted by that in general. So I won't keep you too long. I won't keep too much of your time. Hello, Locked Out. Cheers. Thanks for joining. Yeah, but in general, look, I know it's awesome that Liverpool keep doing this, but at the same time, Liverpool cannot keep doing this. Because at some stage, look, we could end up just being one of those teams. Hello, I can't quite see your name, fella, but welcome to the channel. We can keep doing this, but it's not sustainable long term. I mean, we cannot keep relying on goals in the last 5 or 6 minutes. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we can do. Oh, Pavel, nice to meet you. Yeah, okay then. Yeah, no, like I said, we can keep doing this for a while, but long term, someone's going to end up catching us out. Like we're very, very lucky to get away with that. So yeah. Yeah, sorry that I'm a bit discombobulated, but like, honestly, that was insane. Literally, I've actually just been told off. I don't know how many of the boys watching this who are married, but I just got a major telling off from my wife. When Virgil van Dijk scored, literally, I woke up the entire household, and my missus is meant to be at work at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, so she wasn't really best pleased with me. But do you know what? Yeah, if she sees that, I'm going to pay for that, but it's all right. I'll be able to get out of it. That's fine. Let's have a look. Moscow. Oh, Leeds, mate. Nice to meet you. Ronaldo the Sigma with Neymar. Hello, Ronaldo the Sigma with Neymar. Cool name. I'll just try and go through a bit of what happened because, sorry, I will just bear with me. I will. Yeah, nice to meet you, mate, as well. I will try and articulate myself a bit better. I'm just totally hyper about what's happened. So first things first, Alexander Isak got chosen. He made his debut tonight. He was okay. I mean, I'm not expecting too much from the lad at the minute. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm not making excuses for him, but he's had no pre-season. At the end of the day, he's had this emotional roller coaster. By the way, guys, if you're watching this in England, Champions League highlights are just on now, so I'm going to keep an eye on the Liverpool game as well, because obviously I have seen it, but like because I was completely hyper, I missed a lot of the match basically. So, but yeah, I thought Isaac, from at least what I saw, did okay. I mean, he wasn't brilliant, but it's going to take him time. At the end of the day, he needs to learn how to play with Mo Salah. Mo Salah knows how to play with Florian Wirtz. It's not just going to click just like that, and it was never going to click just like that at the end of the day. So patience and give the bloke a chance. He is going to be brilliant for us, but we need to just give him a chance. By the way, like I said, because I'm so hyper, just bear with me 1 second. That's better. Lovely water. Anyway, so just a bit about the team selection. I was a bit surprised that Connor didn't get picked over Jeremy Frimpong. Look, I have no problem with Jeremy Frimpong playing, but because obviously he's a quality footballer. But I thought Bradley was brilliant in the second half against Burnley. I mean, maybe he's still coming back to fitness himself, and at the end of the day, Frimpong's fit, and they've got to get him match fit and stuff. But I was a bit surprised. But look, at the end of the day, we've got Jeremy Frimpong, technically Dominic Szoboszlai, and Connor Bradley now all fighting over a right back place technically, which is, I mean, it's just insane. So, look, at the end of the day, if Dominic Szoboszlai ends up being a right back for Liverpool, I'm okay with that. That's fine. But yeah, so obviously the first 6 minutes that we blew them out of the water. Robbo got a touch to the Salah strike. We go 1-0 up after 4 minutes. Then obviously Mo Salah gets the second, and I'm sat there. I mean, basically, at the time I was like running around the house, like looking after my son and this, that, and the other. And I thought to myself, "Oh, job done. There we go." Left it for like 20 minutes, came back down. Then I saw kind of the penalty instant. Look, I need to watch it again tonight, and I'm going to watch it on the Champions League highlights. In my opinion, I don't think it's worthy enough of a penalty. I mean, looking back on it, don't get me wrong, I would have liked us to have got on the penalty, so we didn't have to go through that fiasco at the end. But I don't think it's a penalty for me, to be completely honest. So, but then our old friend, Mr. Llorente. My God, I hate that man. I really do. I was reading something where Llorente's basically he's scored 7 goals in something like, I don't know what it is, like 3 or 4 years, something daft like that, 4 or 5 years. It's only like a minor total. And 4 of those goals have been against us, Anfield, in the space of like an hour and a half or something stupid like that. So he obviously likes playing against us. So, yeah, but basically 2-1 going in at half time, and it's like, all right, fair enough. Liverpool take control a little bit in the second half. I thought it was a bit chaotic for my liking. Should have got the third with a couple of shots. And then, to be fair to him, the Llorente goal, I mean, there were people in the Kop end that I saw applauding. I mean, it's a sensational strike. I mean, there's nothing that Ali can do about that. I mean, perhaps the defending could have been a tad better for my liking, but and the defending definitely could have been better on the first goal, don't get me wrong. By the way, I'm watching the highlights now, so I'm just going to, if you see me turning this way, I'm just watching the game back again as well. There he is, Mr. Isak. And yeah, I mean, I'm sat there watching it, and I'm literally just like, I don't believe this. We've just thrown away a 2-goal lead, and I'm thinking to myself, if we don't get the point here, obviously we've got Real Madrid at home, we've got like Galatasaray away, Eintracht Frankfurt, if I can say the word, away. I'm trying to think of the other matches that we've got. PSV at home, Karabakh. I mean, we've probably got enough to get through, but I'm thinking, if this goes wrong, and then if there's a slip up against Galatasaray, we're in a bit of trouble here. But thankfully, we get a corner, and Virgil van Dijk, I mean, ooh. you know what? I didn't notice that start. Sorry, I'm watching the Champions League highlights. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, there we go. It's the Gravenberch thing where he gets fouled. Let's just have a look. So sorry, I'm just watching this live now. So Salah, yeah, he, yeah, Mo, you are not getting that goal. Absolutely no chance there. It's definitely Andrew Robertson's goal all day long. I'm so pleased that Andy scored. I love Andy Robbo. What a good player and quality human being. Absolute top lad. But yeah, basically at the end, yeah, it's come off Robbo. Basically at the end, we get a couple of corners. I think Ibu had a go. I think Verge had one already. I actually think that should have been a penalty, to be honest, because if you look, I don't know if they'll show it on the highlights, but this bloke for Atletico Madrid, he's grabbing Verge's shirt and just like manhandling him. And like Verge was going absolutely mental with the ref, but at the end, the second or third corner comes in, and Verge literally like, boo, just literally like batters it into the back of the net. Here we go, there's the second. What a goal that is from Mo. That's just brilliant. That's just class. Absolute class. Yeah, what a poor season Mo Salah's having. 3 goals in 5 games. It's awful. Yeah, it's slightly sarcastic on this channel. By the way, I'm going to watch the highlights now because at the time when Verge scored, I was literally, the living room that I'm sat in now, I was literally like jumping around and going mental. And that's when Mrs. Geek Boy Meta came down and voiced her displeasure about how loud I was being, basically. But I don't know if does anyone know who's watching know what happened with Diego Simeone? Because I sort of sat back down and then I look and then Simeone's giving beans to the crowd and I'm like, what is he doing? And then it kind of calmed down a little bit. And then, is that the Frimpong thing? Sorry, I'm just looking at the highlights at the minute. Yeah, and then I turn back again, and then half the Atletico Madrid sort of bench are going mental with the crowd. And I'm like, what on earth is going on? So, look, I don't know if something's been said. I'm actually going to look online now while I'm on. I don't know if there's been any sort of abuse or something. Here we are, Frimpong. No, that's not a penalty in a million years. No, fair play to the ref. In my opinion, that's not a penalty. It's taken a slight thing off his hand, but I would be livid, to be honest, if that had been given against Liverpool. So I'm just going to have a look now while I'm online to see what actually happened with Simeone. So I'm just looking at the goal. Yeah, it's a good finish by Llorente, but the defending's terrible. It's absolutely appalling. I thought it was at the time, to be honest. Let me just have a look. So Diego Simeone. Just watching now. Yeah, he's onside. And it's not offside because he's not interfering with play. Because I was sat there going for offside, but I mean, if you look at Griezmann, he's not actually, to be fair to him, interfering with play as such. I mean, that's just a poor goal for conceded, in my opinion. Let me just have a look. Diego Simeone. Yeah, so Diego Simeone got sent off. Sorry, guys, I am just literally looking now. Just on the website, just bear with me a second. Yeah, Diego Simeone fan confronts a Liverpool fan following Virgil van Dijk's winner, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. The Atletico manager found himself face to face with a Liverpool supporter. It isn't exactly known, but plenty of Liverpool fans could be seen goading the attack. Quit test Liverpool, banishing the red card. Oh, Salah's just hit the post. Sorry, obviously not in the game, but yeah, that finishes the game. If it goes 3-1, then Liverpool win that match comfortably, in my opinion. He's got to score that, man. That's a really, really bad miss, actually. Look, I don't. Looking at this, I'll keep looking, but I don't. I think Simeone's just ended up losing his rag by the looks of it. I mean, I can't see anything. Here we go. Here's Llorente's goal. Oh, no, it's not Llorente's goal. He's a bit of a player, that Llorente, though. Fair play to him. Not a player as in that sort of player, but a very, very good footballer. Um, I'm just trying to see if I can get the video up because I'll see it in a minute. Sorry, guys, I'm not totally disorganised on this. I'm just very interested to know what's happened with Simeone. But while I'm watching the highlights, here we go. Is this the goal? Oh, it was a very good hit, but it's taken a deflection. I can't believe he scored 4 goals against us. That is completely insane. Absolutely insane. To be fair, the Reds are a bit unlucky. That did take a bit of a deflection. Let me just have a look. I'm going to see if I can find it on YouTube now. But yeah, basically, long story short, Simeone uses his rag. Look, as long as no one's said anything like of a, I don't know, I don't care. As long as no one's said anything that's horrendously inappropriate to the man, if he's just lost his rag because his team can't see out a match, then, well, tough, basically, as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, if someone has said something, then I'm not condoning that. I mean, obviously, we've had that incident recently with, here we go, is that Verge? Yeah, what a header. Go on, lad. I'm just going to look now, see if they show Simeone. What a header that is. No, that's appalling. He's literally just got in one of our fans' faces. No, unless something's been said. Sorry, guys, I'll get back to the comments in a minute, but I think that's absolutely outrageous, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys know what's been said, if anything has been said, but if nothing's been said, he's literally just gone up to one of our supporters and charged into a load of officials. That's bang out of order. It's not on. Hi, Johnny, mate. You're right. I don't know. I don't know how. I'm literally so. I don't know if you've got the Champions League highlights on. I'm just watching them now. That's why I'm like totally discombobulated. Basically, what's happened is Verge has scored that brilliant header. He's bulleted it in. Verge goes running off. Simeone's going mental about something or other, and then he sort of basically walks back to his technical area, but then he goes steaming into a load of like like stewards and stuff, and he's trying to get some fella in the crowd. It's like, no, that's bang out of order. I mean, again, I don't know what's being said. If there has been something said, then obviously I'll take that back. If there's been something said to Simeone, that's not on. But it generally just looked like there were a load of people taking the mick out of him for conceding the goal. Can't react like that. That's absolutely outrageous. I'm just gonna go on YouTube. Just bear with me a second. I'm just genuinely, unless there's here we go. I've managed to get something. Just bear with me a second. Right. Basically, I can see a bloke, like bald-headed bloke, and he's just laughing in Simeone's face. I mean, I wouldn't be amused if I had some fella laughing in my face if I just conceded a last-minute goal. Fair play. I have got a bit of a temper myself on the odd occasion, but you can't go wading into the crowd. And he's shouting at some young lad here as well. No, that's absolutely appalling. It's not on at all. Unless there's something horrendous that's been said. Yeah, I'm just looking at a load of highlights now. No, that's not on at all. Unless something appallingly rude, and I mean appallingly rude, has been said, that is completely unacceptable. You can't go around wading into the crowd. I mean, it's for those of us of a certain generation, it's not an Eric Cantona. It's not anything like that. It's not God and Kung Fu kicked anyone in the crowd. But that's completely and utterly completely unacceptable. You can't go around going wading yourself into the crowd. Look, I mean, there's been plenty of times when I've had the mick taken out of me when Liverpool have conceded last equalisers, and it's just one of these. Yeah, you're not. Look, all the lads and lasses watching this stream, we've all had that bit where we've had to come back from the boozer when someone's taken the mick out of us and sang us out of the boozer and said goodbye and various other insults. But it's just one of these. You're an adult. You just say, yeah, fair play, or you give it a bit of verbals and then you just walk out the boozer. Simple as that. I know that's a bit simplistic because obviously it's a heightened part of the game. Obviously that would have been a fantastic result for Atletico to take back 2-0 down and they take a point from Anfield, and I can understand why he's annoyed, but you cannot leave the field of play or your technical area and go and start on some random fella in the crowd, and it's completely unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to get on my high horse about it, but I'm absolutely appalled, to be honest, by that. I'm just trying to look again, see if there's a better angle. No, that's not acceptable. As far as I'm concerned, unless Diego Simeone, who, being half English, as a lot of other people of my age, I have never been a big fan of Diego Simeone since a certain incident in 1998, which we will not discuss, involving David Beckham. All I'll say is cheating something. I don't particularly like the way his teams play football. I think he's a brilliant coach, and I think he's done really well to break up the monopoly. I don't want to make this all about Atletico, by the way, but I love their fans. I think they're really passionate. Obviously, we've got Fernando Torres from them. Yeah, I respect Atletico a lot. I don't hugely enjoy their brand of football, but fair play, that's up to them. It's however, but I mean, to be honest, I mean, without wishing to be rude, Atletico Madrid at times come across as a very expensive Burnley. I mean, again, I don't mean that to wish to be rude to Burnley, but they're not exactly the most attacking and splendid team that I've ever seen in my entire life. But yeah, no, I respect Simeone as a coach, but I'm sorry, that is completely and utterly unacceptable. So unless something comes out, and again, I'll wait to see what's happened. Diego Simeone should be banned for 10 matches, as far as I'm concerned, until he learns to behave himself. You can't go around doing that. Like I said, us Liverpool fans, we've recently had the my countryman, Antoine Semenyo, who was racially abused, as we all know, by, how do I put this, charming gentleman. Go on, Antoine. So look, obviously we've had it the other way around as well, and what he said to Antoine was completely unacceptable, and there was a weird half Ghanaian part of me that was kind of like, I wouldn't say I was pleased, but if anyone had to score the 2 goals, then fair play. But so yeah, we've seen it from that side, and I've condemned that fan, and like it's not acceptable to do that. But you can't have members of the coaching staff attempting to get into the stands. That's completely outrageous. I think he should be banned for at least 5 or 10 games. Anyway, I'll stop talking about Diego Simeone. So, good news is with Liverpool, we've already got the 3 points. We've got 8 matches left. So, if you go off last year's, I mean, basically we need, 3 wins and maybe a draw? I mean, that 3 wins would give us 12 points, add another point, that's 13 points. That's probably going to be enough. I mean, obviously, if we get another 4 wins from, 8 games, I mean, that's going to be, my pulling maths, that's going to be 15 points. That's Liverpool qualified. Bearing in mind, without wishing to be rude, obviously, we've got Karabag, Marseille away from home, Galatasaray away from home, so on and so forth. I mean, again, these aren't no-mark teams. Exceptionally good European, probably not going to be as easy as making out. And again, we've got Real. Are we going to beat them? I don't know. We've got Inter away from home, which is obviously extremely difficult with the way they play. Very, very good side. So it's not job done for Liverpool and hide it away till January by any stretch of the imagination. But you'd like to think basically another 4 wins and we're basically done. Just showing the Chelsea match. Did Chelsea lose, by the way? Does anyone know? They were 3-1. Were they 3-1 down? I'm just going to go back online because I was trying to watch all the Kids League matches, and then obviously we were drawing 2-2, and then I just got sucked in with the Liverpool matches. So let me just have a look. Champions League scores tonight. So yeah, if anyone doesn't know, we've had. Oh, I've got a comment. Jim Smith. Still remember that Simeone goal from '98. Yeah, so do I. I remember. It was. God, this is a long time ago. I used to live in Derby, and me and a load of friends from college at the time, we went to a bar. I want to say it was the Union Rooms or something along them lines in Derby City Centre. And we watched the Argentina versus England match, and then obviously we saw Michael Owen do that amazing goal, and the whole pub just went absolutely mental. There's beer glasses going all over the place, people diving on each other, blah, 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 blah. And then obviously it went into the extra time and this, that, and the other, and then Beckham did the thing that he shouldn't have done, but Simeone's behaviour to obtain that decision was nothing short of disgraceful. So I have never liked the man, quite frankly. But I do respect him as a coach. But what he's done tonight is completely unacceptable, and he needs to be fined and suspended by UEFA because you can't be. He's not jumped into the. Oh, Luis Diaz, get in. Oh, please, Lewis, please say Lewis has scored. Go on. So I'm watching Bayern Munich versus Chelsea, the highlights, because I didn't see all this early. What was it? I completely forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, no, basically I wasn't a fan of Simeone, basically. But unless there is an astonishingly good excuse for him doing what he's done, that is completely completely outrageous and unacceptable, and he needs a heavy fine and a censure as far as I'm concerned. You can't behave like that. Cannot behave like that. It's absolutely banged out of order. But yeah, going forward, obviously the Reds are doing. We're not playing brilliantly. I actually thought that first half that we played, other than the goal, was quite decent. That is a terrible goal from Chelsea, by the way. I don't know if anyone's watching the British Premier League, Champions League highlights, but I've just seen the first goal that Chelsea has conceded. I mean, that is garbage of the highest order. What is that? Basically, a Bayern Munich player's just played it across the D. One of the Chelsea players has gone to flick it. Another Chelsea player's gone to flick it. They've both missed. I mean, that wow. I don't even have the words, to be honest. But yeah, in terms of Liverpool, like I said, by the way, I do apologise for saying Someone told me the other day, see, I've just done it again, that I say a lot. And I had absolutely no idea. So I went to go and ask my missus the other day, and I was like, do I say And she was like, yeah, you say it all the time. You say it every single sentence. And I literally went, I don't think I do. So I do if you notice me saying I do apologise. I'm just watching Bayern's penalty now against Chelsea. I don't know why the penalty was given. Harry Kane's just scored it as well. Oh, I bet he absolutely loved that for obvious reasons, to be fair. So that's a great penalty. Yeah, again. So in terms of Liverpool, we've got the 3 points on the board. I mean, you could probably say Atletico is going to be that's going to be your fourth hardest match, maybe your third hardest match. We've got that off the board. I think we've got Galatasaray. I mean, you're in a situation in like a couple of weeks' time. If we beat Galatasaray, I mean, you're talking. I wouldn't say you're done, but I mean, you're not a million miles off. So, yeah. Liverpool this September now. I mean, if we can keep this run going, so I'm just looking at the Cole Palmer goal. That's a great finish. Like I said, I don't know if any of you are watching the Champions League highlights. What a finish that is. I mean, I don't like Chelsea for obvious Liverpool fan, but that's Cole Palmer's literally ball's come into him, and he's not blasted it. He's just outside of his foot. It's like a cushioned volley into the corner. What absolutely fantastic! Honestly, like I said, I don't like Chelsea, but he's such a good footballer. Absolutely sensational. Is that Lucho? Does anyone know if Diaz scored? By the way, let me just have a look. I'll have a look myself. Oh no, I was really hoping that Luis Diaz got the winner. That would have been brilliant. It looks like he's playing really well for Bayern Munich as well. I'm so happy for him. Yeah, I think Kane's just about to score here as well. Let me have a look. Iman Nick. I see what you did there. Yes, you can have a shout out, mate. I get the name. I'm not reading it out just in case. I don't want to lose my channel or anything. I'm just still watching the Bayern thing. That's a great save, that is. Anyway, going back to the Champions League, basically, long story short, if Liverpool can win the next couple of Champions League matches, they're pretty much done and dusted. I mean, we've got Galatasaray before the international break. Obviously, Southampton League Cup. I mean, you'd like to hope that we'd have enough against Southampton, even with a changed side. Obviously, we've got the Merseyside derby this weekend. I'm not saying Everton are the almighty of of Lord and powerful or anything, but we cannot defend like that against Everton. Yeah, I'm sure you are, Sunshine. Yeah, folks, I should probably just mention this. Obviously, my subscribers know how I am and stuff. I like a bit of banter as much as an exploit, but the thing that you just by the way, the person was trying to get me to say his name, and if you looked at it, you could deduce that obviously his name, if you say it out loud, is going to sound like something else. So he's obviously a blatant troll, and I'm not gonna. I don't stand for all that sort of stuff. If you want to do that, find someone in the culture wars that you want to do that to. I'm not interested. Jog on, sunshine. Anyway, yeah, so the point is, if Liverpool can, I mean, they could potentially have this wrapped up in October. I mean, you don't want to go too far. I mean, obviously, you've got to treat the teams with respect, but they really have got a chance to put themselves in a fantastic position here. Going into the Merseyside derby, they've got to defend a lot better than that because you know what David Moyes is going to do. And again, no disrespect to David Moyes, but he obviously is a very, very good coach again, but he is going to target Liverpool. And to be honest with our defenders at the minute, I don't blame him at all. That's exactly what I'd be doing with Liverpool's defending, to be completely honest. Like I said, it's fantastic we're winning. 5 wins on the bounce is great starts to the season, but we cannot keep relying on miracles at the end of matches because we will get found out at some point. Obviously, we've got Everton at the weekend. Then we've got Southampton. Is that right? Yeah, Southampton. Hopefully, a lot of the lads can get a break. I mean, I'd like to see Chiesa come in. I'd like to see Bradley get a start. It'd be fantastic if we could get some minutes into Jadon Dans. Hopefully, get Alexis back. Maybe get him going a little bit again. Mamadashvili. Start for Joe Gomez and so on and so forth. So that'll be a good opportunity. Then we've got Crystal Palace. I mean, that's a really, really difficult game away from home. If it was Anfield, I wouldn't be too worried, but Selhurst Park is difficult away from home. I mean, we have got quite a decent record there at the minute. Then it's, who is it? Galatasaray. I think after that, and then I think we end with, so this is asking a lot. If we could win 90% of those games, we are going to be in a hell of a fantastic position going forward. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. In terms of other stuff tonight, I'm just looking at the scores. Olympiacos drew with Paphos, who I'm not familiar with. I'm assuming Greek. Does anyone know? Slavia Prague 2, Bodo Klimt 2, Ajax 0, Inter Milan 2, obviously Bayern 3, Chelsea 1, us 3 2, and then PSG 4, Atlanta 0. Ouch, that isn't great. Let's have a look. Oh, sorry, there is another thing. Um, Frislol? Frislol. Sorry if I'm saying your wrong, mate. Name wrong, mate. I do apologise. Thoughts on our fullbacks today? Oh, thoughts on our fullbacks today. Um, I don't think there's a problem as such. I think we need to get used to how Slot wants to play the fullbacks more than anything. The, Frimpong's very attacking. Now, I saw Frimpong play pre-season against Athletic Bilbao, the double header, so I actually got to see him play. And literally, to quote my son, bro is all the way into the second half. My son will be cringing knowing that I've just said that. But literally, I'm sat there watching in the Kenny, so I'm in the upper Kenny. I'm watching it, and you can see all of the pitch basically. And you've got the strikers, you've got the midfielders, and ahead of the strikers is Jeremy Frimpong. And I was sat there going, what the hell is he doing? But then one of the Bilbao wingers ends up going down the wing. There's no one near him. And out the corner of my eye, I see Jeremy Frimpong catching up. And I was like, well, surely he's not going to end up catching him. And he's like Roadrunner. He literally caught him, took the ball off him, and ran back up the other way. But, I mean, obviously he can't be doing that all the time. I think Robbo, I know he scored tonight and he played okay, I think. I think Robbo in games like that will be fine when you've got I don't know, you've got 11 men behind the ball basically, and they're not coming out. So against Burnley and stuff, he'll be absolutely fine against Atletico Madrid. It's when he's got, for me, it's when he's got someone like Saka is my big concern with Robbo. I love Conor Bradley. I think he's sensational. Like I said, I thought he was bloody brilliant in the second half against Burnley at the weekend. And obviously the Kirkes look. I mean, it goes without saying he's not. He played really well. Try again. He played really well against the Arsenal the other day. But the performance at the weekend against Burnley was not great. The dive, he needs to wind his neck in. You can't be doing that. I mean, look, Liverpool not whiter than white. Obviously, we've had players that have dived in the past, but the trouble he could have put the team in by doing that. I mean, if he'd just been booked for the challenge, then you'd say, "Oh, fair play, he'll be all right." But to put your team in the situation where they could have been down to 10 men because you stupidly dived, like again, I don't wish to be rude, like a complete idiot. I don't blame Slot for taking Kirkes off at all. To be quite honest, I think, look, he's a 21-year-old lad. I am literally double Milos Kirkes' age. We all do things in our 20s. He will learn, and I'm not being patronising towards 20-year-olds who are far more intelligent than I was. I was a very stupid 20-year-old. But we all make mistakes in early life, and he's just made a mistake. And he's just very lucky he didn't cost the team. So yeah, that's my opinion on fullbacks, mate, to be honest. Let's have a look, because I've started to analyse. Frimpong is not my biggest concern. No, he's not mine either. But our left back position is scaring me. Robbo at times is very lazy against, yeah, and gets caught with his slow reaction. I wouldn't ever accuse Robbo of being lazy, to be honest. I just don't think he's got the pace anymore, to be honest. I really just don't. I don't think, because Robbo, if you remember back in the day, if you remember the Man City game many, many years ago, he chased and harried to the point where he ran all the way to the goalkeeper and pressed him. Robbo was full of energy. He always put a shift in. I honestly just think that he hasn't got the pace anymore. And I do wonder at some point whether he might end up going into a sweeper role for someone else at some point. I mean, I think Andy Robertson can play at the highest level for maybe another year, 18 months, and then obviously he's going to start to dip. If he's not already dipping, I do wonder at some point if he's going to maybe say to Arne, look, I'm happy to play, but maybe I play at centre-back for you. I don't know, mate. I honestly don't know. Kirkers, on the other hand, isn't the greatest, but better against those fast. Yeah, but geez, just makes weird mistake. For example, thank you for reminding us, Frizzlaw. That the goal we conceded. I mean, I don't even have the words. I saw that again the other day. I happened to be on my YouTube just looking at bits and pieces, and they showed the Bruno Guimaraes goal, and I still to this day have no idea what the man was doing. It's like the only way I can think to describe it is the ball comes in, and Kirk literally just this, and then he goes, "Oh well, Newcastle have conceded. Never mind." And I'm like, "What are you doing? Just standing and trying to head the ball." Look, if Bruno ends up scoring the goal, and Kirk has genuinely jumped for it, and he's been out jumped, that's fine. Look, he can't grow an extra 3 or 4 inches on top of his build. I'm not going to have a go at him for that. But what what on earth he thought he was doing? I pass. I don't know, mate. But yes, no, I do agree. I'm very excited for Kirk's future. I do think he's going to be a fantastic player for Liverpool. I do wonder if we're going to have another Trent Alexander-Arnold situation, but just on the other side. I reckon basically Kirk's. I'm not suggesting he goes into midfield or anything. Far from it, but I just wonder maybe Slot and future coaches will be in a position where they're like, right, this lad is absolutely brilliant, but he can't defend, and maybe Slot just goes, do you know what? I'll just take the risk. But at the moment, it's not working for him. But at the end of the day, look, we've bought Milos Kerkers for 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is. We've not bought him for 4 matches. He will get better, I'm sure, but he needs to. Someone needs to have a word with him, in my opinion. Maybe not lazy, but he really annoyed me with the first goal. Yeah, no, totally, mate, totally. He just didn't do 100% job. But I thought the first goal that. So I'm just watching PSG absolutely battering Atlanta at the minute. I was really annoyed with that first goal tonight. I mean, like I said, Liverpool cruising, no danger. I wouldn't blame the midfield, but it's kind of like there wasn't much pressure on the ball, and it basically just comes into the penalty area, and there's a couple of blokes behind Llorente and a couple of blokes in front of it, and they're all just like jogging along. I mean, I don't know if it was it Gravenberg behind him? I can't remember, but there was about a box of 2 or 3 midfielders and a couple of fullbacks, one of which was Robbo, like you said, and they're all just waltzing along, and I'm like, what are you doing? Can someone put a leg in? And then basically Llorente just stubs his leg out, and I just thought it was completely. Look, sorry, I'm going on a tangent here, but in my opinion, if Liverpool go in half time, because I think would the goal come in about 38th minute, 39th, something like that. If Liverpool go in half time 2-0, I think that's game over for me. So I'm just looking at this penalty that Atlanta conceded. What on earth are you doing, you weirdo? What on earth's he done that for? What a ridiculous penalty to give away. Sorry. Anyway, so I'm watching the PSG highlights, and I've just seen one of the Atlanta. That's the worst penalty I've ever seen in my entire life. What on earth was that? So Bradley Barcola, that a lot of you guys will be familiar with, a young lad that plays for PSG, has just. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. Keep watching me if you want to, but well, please keep watching me. But just type in Bradley Barcola penalty miss. That is legitimately one of the most appalling penalties I've ever seen. He's literally stepped up and passed it back to the Atalanta goalkeeper. Like, literally, I have a 12-year-old asleep upstairs who, if I blindfolded him, could have taken a better penalty, and that's absolute garbage. Anyway, yes, back to this. First goal was a defensive mess. Yeah, no, I agree. Second goal, I thought Bradley could have done, but yeah, I know what you mean, but but I mean, it's a hell of a strike from Llorente, and if you do look, because I didn't realise there was a deflection at the time, I do think Halli's a bit unlucky with that deflection, to be honest, but it was a hell of a strike, to be fair. He's way better than what people give him credit for. Like I said, but I love Conor Bradley. I could see potentially Conor moving slightly up into midfield. Not at the minute, obviously, because he's far too young. But you're talking maybe 2 or 3. I'm not suggesting Gareth Bale or anything, by the way, before anyone says that. But maybe he goes a bit further forward one day. I don't know, but I mean we've not got that much quality in midfield, obviously we don't need that. Hi Ard, you're all right. Yeah, you'll never walk alone, mate. I just wanted to say first, really, really quickly as well. While I'm on, this isn't to do with tonight's game, but obviously I've been a Liverpool fan for many years, and I just wanted to say, congratulations to the campaigners around Hillsborough Law now, and to Ian Byrne and to Margaret Aspinall, and the Hillsborough Supporters Alliance and survivors, volunteers, everyone for getting that law passed this week. Shout out to you. Yeah, fantastic work. Obviously, it doesn't bring the 97 back, but it's a hell of a thing to have in their memory, and hopefully this will stop. Not totally, but maybe it will stop a future thing happening to another group of fans, just people in general, and hopefully people will be held accounted for. But yeah, especially to Margaret Aspinall, absolutely inspirational lady. All my respect in the world to her, and to Ian Byrne as well, the MP for West Derby. Yeah, I don't want to bring this down or anything, but it was fantastic to get that bill over the line. So just my respect to everyone involved. So cheers. Definitely water. Yeah, so look, at the end of the day, we've won 5 matches on the back. It's not like we've got a great deal to complain about. I just wonder if we are good. Look, Liverpool this season, there's no way we're going to go unbeaten against every single side we play, but that defeat is getting very close if we still do daft things like that. But do you know what? On the other hand, I just want to say shout out to the boys. They keep going, they keep going, they keep going, they keep going. Not just under Slot, obviously with Jurgen as well. Lads never give in. I mean, they would like that under Jurgen as well. They just fell away on the odd occasion, but you can just tell these lads are just. They just won't have it. They just don't know when they're beaten. They just don't know when they've got a draw. They just keep going and going and going and going. The other thing I'd like to say for Liverpool boys is, can we please all give them a break, including myself at some point, because we do have to remember I'm not offering this as an excuse. I'm just giving it as a reason. Obviously, we have to remember that 20 odd of these lads, 20 odd support staff, hundreds of people that work for Liverpool Football Club have lost a friend in a horrific accident at the end of the day. And you can't just expect people to go back to normal overnight. So if the players do make the odd error, and look, I'm suggesting we should be saying Diogo's death gives them a pass forever and a day. But we do have to have a bit of empathy and understanding that Liverpool are not going to be perfect all of the time, and maybe that is a contributing factor. I don't know, but just give the boys a bit of a chance as well, because they have been for a hell of an ordeal, like we all have as well. I mean, I loved Diogo Jota. He was pretty much my favourite footballer in the world, and it absolutely broke me. And we move on, obviously, but obviously it's very difficult for us to. It's difficult for us as fans to move on and carry on with our lives. I can't imagine how difficult it's been for those footballers and for Arna himself. So obviously we do have to give him a bit of a break as well. But yeah, just thought I'd say that. Frizzle again, I reckon they got starstruck in the first goal because maybe they were sure it was offside. So they just was on their feet. But yeah, good point, mate, actually. Good point. I mean, I've just watched the highlights again. I was screaming for offside at the time. I was literally, because when he scored, I just turned around and was like, well, surely that's offside. And the referee says, no, it's goal. And I was like, well, that's ridiculous. And so I was effing and blinding and this, that, and the other. And then I looked at the thing on Match of the Day. I was like, right, that's why he didn't go offside, to be fair. But yeah, no, it was just a very bad line, wasn't it? So, as I say, I think if Liverpool go in 2-0 up at half time, I think that's game over. I don't think no disrespect for Atletico Madrid, obviously they're a very good team, but I don't think they come back from 2-0 down at Anfield, especially if Salah doesn't hit the post. And can I say as well, no offence to Mo, and I'm just completely contradicting what I've just said about giving the lads a chance. That chance that Salah had that hit the post was, I mean, it was an appalling miss, absolutely appalling. I know he hit the post, and I get it, but I mean, it was it was very poor strike, in my opinion. Got a lot of sticker for this opinion, but I don't think Atletico is as great at football as people say. As someone who analyses matches and play very fun players, he makes many mistakes and does not nearly have the ability of either. Oh, interesting. I mean, I don't think he's the all-time most technically gifted footballer that I've ever seen. Far from it, but I still think he's had a very good start. I mean, I certainly don't think he's a terrible player by any stretch of the imagination. But obviously, yeah, to your point, Isaac is very much further down the line than Hugo Ekitike. I mean, there's no reason to say that he can't improve on it. To be honest, I mean, look, at the end of the day, if Hugo Ekitike is the backup for Alexander Isak, I am absolutely fine with that. I mean, we're in a situation at the minute. Look, people still keep going on about Liverpool's strength in depth. You've got an argument at the moment where Federico Chiesa, I know he's not done as well as we would have hoped, and through no fault of his own because he's been injured, but Federico Chiesa is a backup for Mohamed Salah. Federico Chiesa is a Serie A winning, World Cup playing, European Championship winning Italian footballer who's played for Juventus, who is like a backup, and that's an absolute push. Hugo Ekitike technically is a backup for Alexander Isak, and Rio Ingamoa maybe one of the most talented people, youngsters in the game at the minute, is a backup for Cody Gakpo, and then that's not to even say Jadon Danns hasn't even had a minute of football. He's a great talent, and I still think he's got a future at the club, and I'm not giving up on Jadon just yet. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult for him to get into the team now. You've still got Florian Wirtz, who can play as part of a front three. And let's not forget, even if we had an appalling injury crisis, Jeremy Frimpong played as part of a right-sided three for Bayer Leverkusen. Yeah, I mean, look, I am not complaining by any stretch of it. I mean, like Southampton, for example. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a tangent here. That Southampton match next week. In fact, first of all, let me just read what you said. He's had a great start, but when watching him, I noticed many times where he makes the wrong plays. That I do agree with. But it's because that horror miss, lol. But yeah, him as a backup for Isaac is perfect. Yeah, no, I agree. We have so much potential. I love Case so much. My only worry is our defence. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I'd forgotten about the Ekitike miss actually, because I was sat there literally, the couch that I'm sat on now, literally like screaming, just put it in the something net, and he missed, and there were words that came from my mouth that I cannot repeat on the public live stream, but they're very complimentary. I'll just leave them at that. But it was a very poor, very poor miss, those couple of matches. But I mean, we've got so much strength in depth. What I was going to say before I headed off, to show the strength in depth, I actually went through the Southampton team. Sorry, just bear me a second. Potentially the Southampton team, and this is a backup team. This is if we changed our entire 11. Our team next week: Mamadashvili, Giovanni Leone, Joe Gomez, Connor Bradley, Andrew Robertson, Wataru Endo, Curtis Jones if he's back fit, Trey Leone, who hasn't even had. I don't think Trey's even had a minute's worth of football though. I think he might have come on for 5 minutes here. I can't quite remember, to be honest. And our front three could be Rio Ingamoa, Federico Chiesa, and I don't know, for argument's sake, Cody Gakpo. I mean, that 11, just for the younger Liverpool fans in the room who might be listening to this or whatever, that front 11 is potentially better than probably about 15 sides of Liverpool teams in seasons that I've watched. It would be like, I've supported Liverpool for 36 years. It would probably be breaking into the top 20 best sides that we've had in that time, to be honest. Just that team alone. I mean, if you go through the squad, I mean, it's getting to the point where we could actually, theoretically, if you had Women's 21s, you could actually make a third team out of it And the third team with the under 21s could probably just about. If Liverpool were down to their under 21s and their team like and people like that, for example, and Jade and Dan's and so on and so forth, I would actually put good money on them being able to stay up in the Premier League with just our under 21s. I mean, that's a bit of a claim, and I might be wrong about that, but like, it's just getting to the point where, I mean, honestly, our squad is just ridiculous. It's just, I mean, it's the best squad that we have ever had, as far as I'm concerned, by an absolute country mile. I mean, probably one of the best teams that we've had since I've been a fan. I missed a lot of the 90s and can't remember it because I was too young. Obviously, we had the team with Robbie Fowler and Steve McManaman, Jamie Redknapp. After that, obviously, we had the Gerard Houllier treble winning team, but they were really, really good, don't get me wrong, but the most attacking team I've ever seen. The Benitez side, when you had Alonso, Mascherano, Fernando Torres, I don't know why I just said it like that for, by the way, Steven Gerrard and so on and so forth. I mean, that was probably one of the best teams, and that should have won a hell of a lot more than it did. Then obviously we had the fiasco with Hodgson. The Rodgers side of Suarez was pretty good, but I mean, again, defensively they were all over the shop. And then we've just obviously had the great Jurgen Klopp team of, like, let's say 2019 till about 2022, which was probably the best squad that we've had. This squad that Slot has now is just, I mean, it's borderline sensational. I mean, I don't want to be arrogant, but I mean, other than perhaps PSG, maybe Real Madrid, Arsenal, maybe. I mean, I think basically Liverpool are not far off got the best squad in the entire world. Maybe not the entire world, but you'd have a case for saying top 4 or 5. But yeah, just wanted to say that anyway. That 11 has a fair shout to get into the Champions League. Yes, absolutely, mate. Anyway, I'm off to bed. Nice chatting with you. Have a good night. Yeah, thanks for this as well. Yeah, it was lovely chatting with you, mate. Thanks very much for watching. Yeah, I've enjoyed chatting to you, mate. Very, very much. You're always welcome on my stream, fella. Up the Reds. Thanks for watching, mate. Yeah, that's about it, folks. So I'm going to head off because I haven't even had any dinner and I'm totally hyper. So I should just point out that I am one of the life's anxiety and stress suffering people who is on not loads of medication, but I have to have medication at times. So if I'm a bit like, that's kind of why I go a bit hyper sometimes. So I hope people can understand roughly what I'm saying. But yeah, and when Liverpool win, I do go completely and utterly hyper. So I do apologise if I've been a bit all over the board tonight. But yeah, yeah, up the Reds. It's been fantastic. So, in respect of what's coming up, just a quick trailer, as it were. See, there's me saying, oh my god. I'm going to be doing a live stream tomorrow because I don't just cover Liverpool. I do football stadiums, that horror. I love my horror. Absolutely love it. Comic cons, toy hunts, etc., etc. And one of the things I do cover is pro wrestling. If you don't know, subscribers will know, obviously. But I will be on probably about 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow for the review of AEW Dynamite. I'm going to try and watch a bit of it tonight if I can do. So I'll be on hopefully about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning chatting away with you guys about that. Next major time I'll be on will be on Saturday because I found to my amazement and sheer delight that my vaunted son is not actually going to be with me this weekend. Why is that important, you ask? Well, basically, I'm usually stuck with my son. Not stuck with him. I love him very, very much. But there's, as the parents watching this will know, there's only so much you can do with a 11-year-old chained to your ankle. So he's actually going to stay with a friend. What that actually means is, for once, I can actually go to the public house and go and watch Liverpool versus Everton, hopefully with a couple of friends. So I'll be doing live reactions to that. Probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, about 20 minutes after the match is finished. And then I will be back on about 7 o'clock at night because I'll be watching AEW All In No, I won't be. I'll be watching AW All Out even, and then I'll be doing a live reaction to that. Cut to about 4 hours later, I'll be watching WrestlePalooza, which is WWE's latest thing with ESPN. So I'll be covering that live, watching it and doing YouTube shorts, vlogs, and so on and so forth. And then I'll be doing live reaction to that on the early hours of Sunday morning at about, I'm assuming about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And for once, I can actually enjoy my Saturday night like a normal lad and watch all this and then go to bed and get up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Absolutely brilliant. So I hope you'll join me for that as well. Next time I'll be on for Liverpool, as I say, will be the Merseyside derby, so hopefully about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I might be doing that live in the middle of Leeds, but just bear with me because I'm not totally sure how that's going to work. Yeah, and then after that, the next time will be probably when do we play Southampton? It will be the early hours of Wednesday morning next week, I would imagine. But I'm not actually going to be here for the Southampton match. I've got a prior engagement. There'll be someone watching this. What the prior engagement is. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be doing that the day afterwards as well. So yeah, plenty of Liverpool stuff coming up. Loads of pro wrestling stuff coming up. Next month as well, if you're into your horror music, if you're into your horror, I will be doing a load of horror based stuff. So I'll be going to what am I going to? The Gothica Alternative Market in Leeds in Kirkgate. I'll be doing live stream from that. I will be doing what else am I doing? Whole Horror Fest as well. Which is awesome. I'll be doing Barnsley Comic Con, Sheffield Comic Con, so a lot of your stuff. And then I will be giving a review of Predator as well. By the way, just here for Liverpool, just ignore everything I've just said. But basically, I just do other stuff other than Liverpool as well. But Liverpool's like my main passion. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's me done, folks. I need to go and get something to eat. I'm going to watch some reaction. Probably from Red Ben and the Anfield Rap. Big up to them guys, absolute quality. And yeah, I will see you guys at some point tomorrow for AEW Dynamite review, and then I'll see you for the Mersey Derby on Saturday. Up the Reds, well done Liverpool, and yeah, we roll on. Cheers guys, see you later.